I don't blame Melania.
I'll come back to Tommy shortly, but Stacey, I just wanted to ask you how you felt about Melania when she was First Lady. Do you think she was a good representative for your country?
I mean, I obviously know of Melania. I'm a born and bred New Yorker. I was on the show. I think Melania was probably the least likely First Lady I've ever seen. Some of the things that came out about her after the fact, like when she went to visit the children on the border who were in cages, and some of the statements that came out or got leaked out in the tapes, her reaction to Christmas at the White House. I thought that was very surprising. I think she gets a lot more credit than I would have expected her to have gotten. And I think she's getting the credit just because she's the wife of Donald Trump and people support Donald Trump.
Appreciate you giving your views there. Tommy, coming to you then. Do you think it's sort of silence is golden when it comes to Melania? She's not been the most vocal, the most outspoken First Lady. She did do a few sort of causes and a few photo ops and things like that. But do you think she played a smart move by just being very quiet and now very absent?
That's her personality, but I'd like to go back to her getting more credit than she deserves. I mean, you've got to be kidding me here. Every other First Lady has been put up on a pedestal on the cover of Vogue, and you have an actual model who was completely snubbed and looked over. So I completely disagree with that she got more credit. She got far less credit than she deserves. She's a smart woman. She doesn't like the attention. She doesn't like the spotlight. She has that ability to maybe not put herself in the spotlight. That is every bit her right. But again, because this case is such a sham anyway, going back to this point about how the jury is going to look and see if she's there, this case is such a nothing burger and such a waste of time. I don't think that's even going to factor in. This is a witch hunt against Donald Trump. I think his family supports him, whether it's in front of the public eye or not. I think he has the support of the entire Trump family.
Stacey.
And millions of Americans, by the way.
I have one comment about that. I don't think it's really that important whether or not our First Lady makes the cover of Vogue or doesn't. That kind of disrespect, I don't really consider that to be much to make anything about. It's a little bit embarrassing, actually. But I'll tell you something about the case. Now, the indictment, I originally felt yesterday when the indictment was released and I read the bare bones indictment, and all of the legal pundits have been talking about it's so bare bones, there's nothing there, there are no surprises. Well, I feel differently now about it. I am surprised. I read the DA's statement of facts, which were released, and those are the facts that are backing up the reasons why they feel they can meet the elements of this crime, which is 34 counts, felony counts of falsification of a business record. I was I have to say pleasantly surprised, not because I don't want to see someone convicted of something they didn't do, but because if he did do what they're accusing him of, they actually dotted their I's and crossed their T's very well. And that's laid out in the statement of facts. There's evidence listed in there that we weren't really made aware of. Even yesterday, when the district attorney got up and had made a press conference and basically stated what his case was, it sounded weak. It sounded not good. It sounded like, sort of a frivolous prosecution. But if you look at this statement of facts and you see that there are phone calls, there are business ledgers, there are checks, there are things being issued in and out of the Donald J. Trump revocable trust. There are there's conduct that affects his businesses, the Trump Organization, which is located in the state of New York. Yeah. I think this is going to be more than people think it is when the truth starts coming out.
Yeah, and I appreciate you laying that out, Stacey, because I had a similar feeling, Tommy, actually, when I read through the statement of facts last night, and I want to get your reaction to it, because I understand your position on this is very watertight in terms of supporting Trump, saying it's a politically motivated witch hunt. But when you read through these 34 counts as they were laid out, the catch and kill scheme, as it was called, to try and stop information, suppress information via American Media Inc., you've got multiple allegations of women's information being suppressed. How do you read that and feel okay with it?
Listen, we're talking about a Manhattan DA that downgraded 52% of felonies to misdemeanors, and he's going after Donald Trump for what amounts to a clerical error and a trumped-up NDA to a porn star? You have got to be kidding me. How do you explain that and the spending of federal money on that, our taxpayer dollars, to do this when New Yorkers are wandering around the streets of that city worried about their safety and their personal safety and their family safety? This is an absolute sham. This is weaponization, political persecution, not prosecution, and Trump will prevail, as he always does.